Yes, people, you know the face, you know the name. Aaron here, back again. Back in my yard, back in my living room, outside OT. The sun is out in Manchester, which is something we don't get very often. So I thought, you know what? Let me step out. Let me step out, man. Let me come to the stadium and let me talk to you guys. Anyway, road to 20K, people. Shout out to everyone always tuning in, showing love and support. I appreciate you guys each and every time. It's road to 20K, we're closing in on 17, so if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you go ahead and do so. And listen, we are here, outside OT. And you know when I come to OT, it's serious. Last time I came to OT, I came to pick up the vibes. I came to pick up the good vibes before the Europa League final, which didn't end up too positive for me. So I thought for transfers, let me try it again. Let me try this again. Let me come here and let's talk transfers. Now listen, as you guys know, there's lots of rumours. I haven't really been active when it comes to Man United transfers. I haven't really been talking about it the way I should because of the Club World Cup, etc., etc. But I thought for this one, you know, the Club World Cup is slowly coming to an end, so let me come and talk transfers. Now listen, I'm not going to talk about rumours and players individually that we're linked to, but with the players coming back, or with the players reportedly coming back next week to report for pre-season training, it is concerning, people. It is very concerning that at the moment, at the time of recording, one signing has officially been made, and that's Matheus Cunha. Bryan Mbeumo, I did say it's a question of time. It's a matter of when, not if. I do believe, I would say within the next week or so, it should be confirmed. I hope this week is confirmed, because at least then we can have two signings and he can come in and report for pre-season training as well. But so far, people, it is not looking good. It is not looking good. And I can't help but think, or I can't help but talk about Ineos, because as it stands, okay, two signings, you've done well, but, and I'm not trying to compare the pace at which, or I'm not trying to compare the pace at which other clubs sign players, because you look at Chelsea, in my opinion, that's what they do. They just sign any and everything within measure. But I don't think United want to do that, and I understand that, but still, I'm looking at other teams that are trying to make statements. I'm looking at other teams that are trying to send messages to the Premier League, like Man City, like Liverpool. And I'm looking at Man United and I'm going, okay, we got in one of the top scorers of the Premier League last season, Matheus Cunha. Now it's time to bring in another one who was a top scorer or one of the best scorers in the Premier League, in Bryan Mbeumo. But I do think there's still a lot to be improved on. You know, a lot of people have been saying that Amorim needs his players, he needs time. Well, if Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo are the only two players we're going to get in before pre-season tour, or before we go on that Premier League summer tour in the US, I'm going to have to look at Amorim and say, well, players are there. Coach now. It's time to coach. There's no time to, or there's no excuse rather to say, oh no, but I don't have my players, that's why I can't coach. No, now it's time to get ready for the season, because Ineos haven't done the job in terms of getting him his players, so Amorim has to coach now. Now we're going to see what you're really made of. And I'll tell you what, that first pre-season game, I don't know who we're playing against in that first game, but I believe there has to be a significant change. Yes, players may still be here that we don't want to see, but listen, coaches get paid to coach. I'm sorry, but coaches do not get paid to not coach and say, I need my players, then I can coach. No, you still need to be able to do your job as a coach and get the job done. Now, fair enough, a couple of delicate situations that, you know, are here to be talked about. The likes of Jadon Sancho coming back to the club. Antony, as it stands, coming back to the club. The likes of the likes of Marcus Rashford coming back to the club. The likes of Jadon Sancho coming back to the club. The likes of Antony coming back to the club. Those are players that are not really wanted. Malacia is coming back to the club. What is going to happen with these guys? Are they going to be on the plane for pre-season tour? Because if they are, that tells me that they're going to be in Amorim's plans. That's what it means to me. fair enough. If they're going to be left in the UK and be told to train, okay, then I know what time it is. But if these guys are going to be on the plane, then I know exactly what time it is. So ultimately, I'm looking at this and I'm going, Ineos have to do their job to get the signings done quicker because, you know, we've had a specific or a special window open, then it closed, then it opened again. And since, there hasn't really been much activity. A couple of players that we've been linked to here and there. I'm reading Ivan Toney, I'm reading, what's the striker from Aston Villa? Ollie Watkins. I'm reading these type of guys, and listen, I'm not against any of them. I'll take any right now because anything is better than Højlund at the moment. So I'm looking at Ineos in terms of getting the signings in early, but at the same time, I'm looking at pre-season, which is starting next week, Monday, and I'm going, listen, Amorim, you have to coach. You have to prepare this team to the best of your abilities, work with the tools that you have, and get them ready for this summer tour. Because, listen, that summer tour, I will be watching. I will be watching closely to see what improvements have been made tactically, what players are going to be improved. Because ultimately the job of a coach is to improve players. There's countless examples of coaches going to new clubs and improving players. They may not be world beaters, but a coach can be able to improve certain players and make them good. The perfect example is probably at PSG, Luis Enrique. Personally, I never really rated Nuno Mendes before this season, obviously. Never really rated him like that. He was linked with United and I was like, yeah, fair enough. I'd take him. But I never really saw him as the top left back in the world. But look at him now. He's arguably the best left back in the world. And all of that is because of Luis Enrique's tactical instructions, which have improved Nuno Mendes, you know? So I'm looking at Amorim and I'm going, you have to coach if the signings don't come through. But that brings me to a different point. If the signings don't come through before the players get on the plane or before the club, Amorim and etc., before they get on the plane to go to the US, it concerns me because I already told you guys my view on certain players staying at this football club. Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, you know, them type of guys, Andre Onana, those are still the same core guys that, I don't want to say helped us, but those are the same people, part of that core, that were part of that disastrous season last season. So what's going to change if these guys are still here? Like, are they just magically going to start playing well? It doesn't happen like that. Just because you play bad and you go on holiday and then come back after a month and a half doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're good again or you're going to be good. No, these are still the same guys that will revert back to type whenever things get sticky. So I do want to see new faces. I do want to see improvements in terms of personnel. So I would like to see 2 new midfielders. I would like to see a new striker come in. If it's not a striker, then another forward. You know? That forward line needs to be improved drastically. Drastically. I'm sorry, but I cannot bear the sight of the new season starting and me still seeing Højlund playing up front for Man United. I'm sorry. I can't bear the sight of that because I promise you, if this is what it's going to be, then listen, I might as well not even tune in for the games in pre-season. I'll be honest, because the sight of Højlund playing for Man United is absolutely awful. We're at Old Trafford. Nobody can tell me that it's not looking awful when I've seen it live in the flesh here. You think it's bad on TV? Come to Old Trafford and see for yourself how bad it is. So right now, I'm not satisfied with the transfer window. 2 players are not good enough. Everyone was ready and celebrating, including myself. I was the first one to celebrate that there was going to be a complete overhaul. Players were going to leave. We were celebrating and being happy and say, oh, you know what? At least 6, 7 players are going to leave. Bro, some of them are still here. Some of them are still here because of high wages, high wage demands, not being able to sell. United maybe putting the price of certain players too high. Price tag is too high. So, listen, if I'm United, I will happily take a loss on some of these players because a lot of these price tags, I'll be honest, are not realistic. Not with what they've been putting out in terms of, you know, assists and goals or performances in general. I'm reading 40 million for Rashford. It's too much. Who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay his wages? Anthony, the price tag is a bit more reasonable. I'm reading between 25 and 30. Cool. Jadon Sancho, wage demands too high. As much as United need to set realistic price tags for these players, listen, the wage demands need to, you know, they need to get lowered a little bit. So, you know, these players need to be realistic as well. I get you're trying to get your money, but you haven't performed to the level of you being able to demand those kind of wages. You haven't. So we're in a sticky situation, man. We're in a sticky situation, and only time will tell. Unfortunately, I would have loved to be here and say, this has to be resolved this way and this way. No, right now we can just hope and wait. Hope and wait. But Amorim needs to be ruthless. The players that he doesn't want can't go with him or with the team, can't be on that plane to the US. Because if he takes some of these guys with him to the US, that's going to tell me a lot. And it can't be, well, I need them for pre-season because we need to make up the numbers. No. We've seen countless examples of managers freezing people out because they don't want them to be on a plane somewhere for pre-season, etc. Again, I'll take the example of Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique froze out Kylian Mbappé because of the contract situation. Your contract situation's not stable, you're not coming with us. No. I think that should be the same. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Yeah, like I said, road to 20K, closing in on 17. If you made it till the end of this video, go in the comment section and type in, get the business done. That's what I would say. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, people, and I'll see you soon. Peace.